Hi everybody, this is Meg from AIM Fitness Online, and I wanted to hop on here today to give you some fitness tips all about motivation. So I talk to a lot of people who tell me that they're noticing that as the weather is getting cooler, it is really hard to stay active. Maybe they're having a hard time getting out. The weather is cooler, they're just not as motivated. Maybe your health has been changing. I know that many people are experiencing more time at home and less activity, and maybe this is you. Maybe you're finding that because you're not moving as much, you are noticing a change in your health. Maybe your health isn't as good as it used to be. Maybe your balance is worse. Maybe you've lost a lot of strength. Maybe you've been noticing that your mobility has changed. So regardless of where you are at, these motivation tips that I'm going to share with you are going to be really helpful. So I'm going to be sharing 4 tips for you. Now, I do want to let you know that I have recently put together a motivation quiz, and there's 4 types of a person that you could be. And what I've found is over the years of working with people through personal training and fitness is that we're all motivated really different. So I'm going to put my link in the bottom, and I do encourage you to fill out the quiz, take the quiz, find out if you are a self-motivator, maybe you are a rewarder, an inspired action taker, or a scheduler. So once you do the quiz, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. All right, so our 4 different tips for you. Tip number 1 is to break down your goal. Sometimes what happens is we have a big goal, like I want to feel strong, I want to experience more energy. But if we don't make it into a tangible, smaller goal, it's really hard to know, well, do I experience more energy or not? How do I measure it? How do I compare to where I was before? So I would recommend, so for instance, if you're someone who says, you know what, I want to exercise more regularly, I know that I've put on weight, I've have lack of energy, I've lack of movement in my day because of that. So what I would recommend is starting small. So maybe for you, the thought of exercising every day is a little overwhelming. So start with 10 minutes a day. Really simple. Start with 10 minutes and start with that. Try that every day. And at the end of the week, reassess. How did it go? Was it easier than you thought? Were you able to do it easily? Did you come up with excuses every day? So it's good to think and to look at how did it go. Now, once you reach 10 minutes and that becomes good and manageable and realistic, then add another 5. Aim for 15 minutes every day. And over time, you can add that up to 20 minutes, and before you know it, you may be doing 30-minute workouts every day. And because it's a gradual increase, it's not going to be as overwhelming as trying to exercise every single day for a full hour. All right, so that's my first tip for you, is to break down your goal. Make it really easy so you can achieve it. And my tip for you, tip number 2, is to remind yourself why you are prioritizing your health. Why is it important for you to be focusing on your health? Now, it's going to be different for every single person, and I think this is why it's really important to stay connected to the reason why you're watching this video, or the reason why you've been exercising or wishing or thinking about exercising for quite a while. So get connected. If you are someone who likes to journal, I love journaling. I actually have my journal right here in front of me. And I love to just kind of sound things out, write things out, get clear on my goals, get clear on what I want to focus on. So I do recommend maybe doing some journaling and asking yourself, why is my health important? If I could change my health in an instant, what would I do to change it? And if I had the best health ever, what would that health look like? So it's really important to really think about, why do I want to work on my health and fitness? You may have pressure. Maybe your kids, your family members are saying, hey, you know what? Why you need to get up off the couch. It's time for you to do something for you. But until you decide and make that your own personal decision, it's going to be really hard, and it's not going to be very fulfilling to do something just because others are asking you to do it. So get clear on why your health is important. So that's tip number 2. Okay, tip number 3 is to pre-plan your workouts. I work with a lot of clients who have decided to pick a specific time of day, and that is the day and the time that they exercise. So for many people, I'd say about 80% of people that we work with at AIM Fitness, most people say morning is my best time. Once I start my day, once I get moving, and exercise, have that time for myself, then I can move on to the other things like household tasks around the house, family demands, all that sort of thing. So get really specific, and as well, you're going to want to think about, what do I need to be successful in exercising regularly? So I know for some people, and myself included, if I know I'm going to get up really early to exercise, I will set my gym clothes out and I will have them right on my chair, so I'll be able to put them on first thing in the morning. I'll have my running shoes right there, so there's no excuses. And if you're someone who has a lot of excuses, don't worry, you're very normal. We're all like you. But we want to really eliminate any decision making. We want to just be able to put on your workout clothes and know exactly what to do. All right, now along with that, still number 3 in pre-planning, we also need to know what we're doing. And I hear from a lot of people who say, Meg, tell me about your online program. Tell me about personal training. I do not know what to do on my own. I try to, I find something and then I'm not enjoying it, or I'm worried about injuring myself. I know that the workouts I did in my 20s is not going to cut it anymore. So I do recommend thinking about, what is it that you can do. Do you have a YouTube video? Check out AIM Fitness on YouTube if you haven't. Be sure to subscribe. Do you have maybe a program that your physiotherapist has given you, or your chiropractor? Or maybe you do need some guidance and you do want to reach out and hear about the online programs that here at AIM Fitness, how we help our clients stay active. So regardless of what it is, have an idea of what you are going to do. Because if you are going to work out and then you're like, oh, you know what, I don't really have the equipment, or I don't really know what to do, then you're going to feel discouraged and you won't work out after all. All right, our final tip number 4, is to give yourself some grace. Give yourself some kindness. Things come up. Life can get busy. If you're not in the routine of exercising regularly, it might take you a few weeks to build that routine. So just know that if you miss a workout, it's okay. If it takes time, if you need to reschedule your workout to another day or another time, don't beat up on yourself. Get rid of the guilt, get rid of the pressure, because if you start to always think about, oh, I didn't do it, I'm a failure, every time you think about your fitness, you are not going to want to exercise, because you're just going to automatically feel like you are not good enough. So what we want to do instead is we want to encourage ourselves and say, okay, tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'm going to exercise. If it doesn't happen, then I have another time later in the day, this afternoon at 4 p.m. that I'm going to do my workout. I'm going to start with 10 minutes. I'm going to start with one of Meg's exercise videos from YouTube, and I'm going to have my clothes out ahead of time. So there you go. For those of you who are wondering, okay, Meg, tell me what to do. There you go. There's a good example of what you can do. So I do encourage you to really give yourself that kindness. Like I said, it does take time to build a healthy habit. Now, the reason, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret, the reason I gave you four tips today is because when you take my motivation quiz, there are 4 types of people. So we have the rewarder, we have the self-motivator, the inspired action taker, and the scheduler. So I do encourage you to take the quiz. I'm going to leave it down in the notes right below, so you can take the free quiz. I've got 7 questions, and once you answer these questions, it'll direct you and tell you what type of person you are, and then give you those tips and give you some suggestions. So from these tips are one of each. So maybe one of these tips really resonated with you more than the other. So take the quiz. Now, on that note, what I would love to invite you to is to join me if you want to dive a little bit deeper into motivation. In a few days, on Wednesday, October 27th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be hopping on Zoom for a more in-depth webinar all about your motivation type. So if you are thinking, you know what, I'm struggling with motivation, I really could use some help, I could really use some tips and techniques specifically for me, just remember, I've worked with people on their fitness for over 15 years. So I've heard it all. I've heard all sorts of excuses, all sorts of reasons why you cannot exercise. I know a lot of people have said, hey, my health is getting worse. I have a lot of physical restrictions. But I do want to encourage you that I truly believe that regardless of what stage of life you're in, if you're in your 50s, maybe you're in your 70s, or even your 90s, I have helped people at every single age and stage exercise and move in comfortable ways. So I really do encourage you to open up your mind and just start to think, what if my health could improve? What if I could have more energy? What if I could take a small step today and really see things shift for me? So I really believe that's possible for you. And I would love to have you join me at the motivation webinar on Wednesday. So once again, I will leave that link right below. You do have to sign up for it. It is free. There's no cost at all, but I would love to have you join me for the motivation webinar and also to take that motivation. Learn so much about yourselves. All right, well, thank you for joining me today. If you have been watching, please let me know where you're watching from. I love hearing from you guys. So leave a little note, a little hello or thumbs up, and I really appreciate you guys really thinking about your health and really starting to dream and believe that there's better and better health out there for you. All right, so until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks